Okay, we'll come back to the War Room replay of Quatre Bras by Hexasim, its last Eagle series. And right now we're in the second phase of turn 2. We've gone through and done the initial activation and determined that the Anglo-Allies will go first. So we're in the activation phases, and so far no end of turn roll has been successful, so we can pretty much continue to go on through this turn. So the Anglo-Allies will go next and try and activate someone. The French had activated the Guard Cav on their turn in the first activation, and the Anglo-Allies had activated Perponcher. So I think, who should we try and activate first? I think we'll try and activate Orange and see if we can't rally some of these routing troops. So for our first roll, we will see what we can do about activating Orange. So we need an 8 or less, and it looks like we got a 7. So we can activate Orange, who is over here on his way back to Quatre Bras with the rest of his troops, and there are 2 stacks of routed troops within his command range. So we'll put one activation on Orange to go with the other activations that we've already had, and I don't know how well that's going to show with the glare from outside, but you can see the activation markers from last turn and now this one for Orange are in place, as well as our markers, our other off-map markers, and our various counters ready to come on as reinforcements. The French are pretty much all on, and then the hidden movement markers and order markers, which are on the board for the most part and coming up the road from the Anglo-Allied side. So going back to where the action is centered on here, Orange and the 2 units he is going to try and rally, or the 2 stacks of units he's going to try and rally. So these are both 6s, and I believe we roll for the stack and 4, so it looks like they both rally. They've both been reduced and taken pretty good casualties, but they rally. And this other unit over here is a 6 as well, so let's see, and there, 6, 7, 8, and even with Orange's 1 bonus, they are not going to rally, so they will continue to rout. And it looks like, I don't think there's no other routed units there. So that takes care of Orange's activation. So now, I think what Ryle will try and do is rally some of his routed units, which he lost quite a few from my mistake, but I didn't go back and try and redo it, because once the die is cast, the die is cast. So that was because I activated too many people with Orange that one turn. He can only activate 1 stack to give them orders to attack or move or whatever, but he can rally up to 4 stacks, and I did that backwards. So let's see if Ryle can activate. He's an 8. Whoop. So 7. So he can activate. And we'll see if he can, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's within his command. range. Let's see if we can rally them, I should say, not activate 9, becomes an 8, so nope, they're going to continue to route. These guys are a 6, and they get a 6, so with Ryle's bonus, they're going to rally. Oh, excuse me, they're not, because, well, yes, because Ryle gives a 0 bonus, but they were a 6 and a 7, so they are going to rally. And 6 and a 7 here, so let's see if they rally. 5, ooh, he's not going to rally. So 2 of them continue to route, and 1 rallied. And so that's going to be Ryle's first activation, which we'll mark on the leader card. And then, that was probably a mistake, wasn't it? Because that means Ryle can't order anybody to move. He spent that activation trying to rally. So, I guess that means we move on, and now we'll try and activate the next unit, which we will try and activate Merlin, who's bringing in more of the Dutch. And that's not going to activate, so we'll try and bring in who's next in line here. All of these apparently, oh, okay, Picton. We'll try and bring Picton on. And Picton's an 8. Whew, and he doesn't rally. Or, I mean, he doesn't activate. So that leaves Brunswick. And Brunswick will activate. Okay, well, that means Brunswick's next turn counter can come on and move it to 3, and so he'll come on and go 1, 2, 3, and then the other Brunswick counters will go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now, needless to say, those are dummy counters because the Brunswick counter just came on. So now we have 2 other French, Kellerman, so who is a 9-1, so we can try and activate Kellerman. And let's give that a shot. 7, so Kellerman activates. So which one of these is actually Kellerman? There he is. So Kellerman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the road bonus 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And nobody gets close enough to anybody to see anything. 6 was the spotting range in this scenario. So that's an activation for Kellerman. Oh yes, and an activation for Picton. Where's Picton? Over here. Okay. So that takes care of that phase. Oh, we forgot to roll at the end of that phase. Well, at the end of the phase a minute ago, 9, no. And then for the French, 9, no. And now at the end of this activation phase, to see if the turn ends, 9, no. Because on this turn it's a 10. And I just dropped the dice. Where did that go? No idea, so I'll grab another one. And the French roll to see if the turn ends. And a 9, no. So 4 9s in a row because it's a 10 for the first attempt. Okay, so next up, for the Anglo-Allies, we will try and activate, well, I guess we'd try and activate Merlin again, because it's a new phase. So we rolled a 7. And Merlin is a 9. So that means we can activate him. Now we don't want to get within 6, which means we'd have to stay hidden down there where we are, and then we can bring on the other dummy counter because, let's see, where is it? Yeah, because this is another phase, and so he would come on down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and stop there. Oh yeah, that's right. Brunswick, moving down the road, can get an extra movement, and we took an extra movement, just one, because I don't want to get, well, we can take the 2 so they'll get bunched up, but they're just leader hidden markers, so we'll bring them on down the road. And it worked out that when I randomly picked the hidden markers versus the leader markers, the hidden markers are the only one that's on the board. So now to finish moving Merlin's hidden markers, what I would do is make sure I stayed back out of range with them, because these are actually, both of these are actually blanks. This one here for Merlin and that one. So just to confuse the French, I would keep them back there to keep them guessing. Alright, so that's Merlin's activation. And we'll mark him with 1 activation. And then the French, ooh, who else are we going to try and activate here? I think that's all we have is those 3, Ney, Ryle, and Kellerman. So they've all done their first activations, so I think we'll try and activate Ney a second time and see if he can maybe rally those routed units back here. So Ney does activate. So this will be Ney's second activation, so I'll flip that marker over on the leaderboard. Now let's see if Ney, he gets a +1, can rally this stack. 7, 6, so they do, or 8, 7, so they do not rally, they continue to route. And the one over here is a 6 as well, and he's going to rally. So we did manage to stop that. Now, next activation. Who do we want to activate this time? We'll try, who hasn't activated? Looks like, the 3rd and the 1st division aren't on yet. So I think we've activated, oh, we could try and activate Wellington, see if he comes on. 8, and Wellington will activate, but he came on up here last turn and I forgot to move him, so I did not move him ahead of time, but now we will. So he can move 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See which one's the real one. Neither one. So he actually hasn't come on yet either. It's just the dummy markers. But oh, wait a minute, he's due to come on. Yeah, his third marker. So funny, of the three I picked, of the 3 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So of the 3 when you pick the markers, you put them face down or in a cup or whatever, shuffle them up, and then you pick them, and then one comes on the turn before it's scheduled to come on, one comes on the turn of, and then one comes on the turn after it's scheduled to come on. If they're for the first turn, then 2 are picked to come on the first turn and 1 the next turn. And in 3 out of 4 cases, I picked the dummy counters to come on the first turn. And well, let's see. So that's Wellington gets his first activation. We'll put a marker next to him. And so now it's the French turn. And let's see who. Nay is activated twice. I think now it's time to activate Ryle and see if we can get some action in here on Perponcher. So Ryle is an 8. So let's see if we can activate him. 5, and he does activate. So now we will move up and attack here. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and this gets revealed, and it's revealed as a dummy, so it gets taken off. 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. This one gets revealed as well because he's now within the 6x range. So this one gets revealed, and this one gets revealed, all dummies. And he can now see this one gets revealed, which is a dummy, and this one gets revealed, which is the real Wellington. So the dummy gets removed. None of the others are within 6, so he doesn't see them. So we're going to move this up 1, 2, 3, and these guys are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think he'll stay there. These guys will move up 1, 2, 3. These guys will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll join him over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll put them on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because I'm taking the road bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. All of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I'll see. These are all lights. Yeah, so I'll leave all the lights there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually I can move, I can have up to 30, so I'm going to put the other 9 in there because I can have up to 30. And a hex, only 20 can attack out, I believe it was. Alright, so now we are going to melee here and melee here, which will give them defensive fire. So he is a 9 and he is not a light, but he will get to defensive fire. And I don't think he has a chance to opportunity fire because it looks like the ridge blocks his line of sight along there. And but so he's a 9. The infantry fire table. It's not opportunity fire, it's defensive fire. The only modifier that applies. Yeah, there's no modifiers that apply, nothing for terrain or anything else. So let's see, he gets a 6. So a 6 on the infantry fire table is no effect. Now underneath orange and purple and share is a 4 artillery and an 11 infantry. So the 4 artillery gets to fire. It's adjacent, so there's a -1. And that's, I believe, the only modifier. So a 5 on the 4 on the artillery fire is QFT1 and 1 step. Ooh, that hurts. So the guy on top, the lead unit, takes a step loss, and he checks morale before the step loss when he gets a 6. So he was a 7 before the step loss, yep, so he's all set. Now that was just the artillery, which is a pretty good shot. Now the 11 underneath. It's just, yeah, that's right, the strength doesn't matter, it's just, so he gets an 8, and on the fire table, which no modifiers, is a nothing. So the artillery was pretty effective, but the infantry fire did nothing. So now the melee, going to the melee, the attacker here has 15 to 9. So that's a 3 to 2, gets a -1. Nobody's, well, he does have a light, so that is no effect. There has no difference on the melee. The attacker is a 7, and they're a 7 morale, so there's nothing there for their quality. No routed units, not encircled, nobody's demoralized, not a mixed formation, it's all infantry. So it looks like it's straight up on a melee table, well, -1 because he has a few more. Oof. 10 becomes a 9, QFT 1. So he's got to take a quality check as a 7 with a +1, so 6, so he's fine. So nothing happened, basically. Now here we have 9, 9 is 18, and 5 is 23. So if it's a attacking into or out of, so is that a non-clear? It's a stream. Well, actually it's not a stream, it's a creek. No effect on movement and combat, so so it would be the same as a clear then, as far as I can tell, because it says no effect on combat. So if it was anything other than clear terrain, you can have 30 points in a hex, but only 20 can attack if it's not clear terrain. And that's not an orchard. It's not it's not a stream, it's a creek. So yeah, so that makes it an artillery and 11. But the artillery only counts as 1 if I'm remembering correctly. 9, 9, 18, 23 to 11 is 2 to 1. So on a 2 to 1, we got a 7. Now, yeah, our lead unit took that hit and is a 6, but his unit is a 6, so 7 with a -1 becomes a 6. With defender has to do a quality check. So the defender with a 6 is a quality check, and that means, so it becomes for per Poncher is there, so at -1, so it becomes a 9. He's a 6, so he fails by 3, which means he routes. So 1, 2, 3. They go back 3, and they take. They don't have to go, I don't believe. So take orange with them and leave. No, I guess I'm not going to leave him in the open. Come to think of it, I'll take them all. Yeah, because I don't want to leave them there to be overrun, because they're going to advance in. And we'll put a route marker on him, but not on Wellington underneath. So that wasn't that bad. It wasn't that great, but it wasn't that bad. So that's that activation phase. Let's see if we get an end of turn roll. 8. Nope, still haven't gotten an end of turn roll yet. So the turn goes on, but to keep this short, I will end it here, and then we'll pick it up later and do some more of it. I also wanted to mention about the cards too, even though I don't use them. I was going to real quickly just show the cards and talk a little bit about them. They have two kinds of cards. They have the red ones. There's a French 3 card